Hello and welcome to A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green. Nearly 4 years ago, Rebekah Gregory miraculously survived the terrorist bombing at the Boston Marathon, despite being just 3 feet from the explosion. Her legs took the brunt of the blast, which shredded her flesh, but at the same time, those limbs protected her 5-year-old son from certain death. In her new memoir, Taking My Life Back, Rebekah says she believes her whole life has been a series of smaller blasts preparing her for that day, and that her journey, her life's journey, and ultimate newfound faith pulled her through. And Rebekah joins me now. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was a very horrible thing to watch on TV, but what was it like being there and being in the center of that blast?
I don't think there's any words that will ever be able to truly describe it. It was like a war scene. You know, people's body parts were around us, and my own bones were laying next to me on the sidewalk. Blood and ball bearings and nails and BBs and everything that these two brothers could pack into these pressure cookers. And it was horrific.
You know, one of the things you describe in the book is the thought of, like, where's Noah? Where's my son? And then the thought that you were going to die.
Yes.
But the first thought was just this overwhelming need to find out where your son was.
I did. I think any parent would feel like that in that kind of circumstance. And I just said, God, if this is it for me, take me. But let me know my son is okay. And miraculously, and that's the only thing that it is, it's a miracle, and someone picked Noah up, and actually I could see him in my peripheral vision. And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, I really am going to die today. That was my sign, you know.
There's so much in this book that describes so much what was going on in that time, and people are just going to have to read the book to find out more about it because it's so fascinating and so heart-wrenching. But you say that your life has been a series of smaller blasts preparing you for that moment. How so?
It absolutely has. You know, since my childhood even, I grew up with a very abusive father who was also an evangelist to the outside world. And so from a very young age, I had a very skewed version of what Christianity and God's love truly meant. But every single time that something has happened in my life, God's revealed himself to me in such a powerful way. And, you know, I was sick in high school. I had a car accident that should have killed me. I got held up in a Walmart parking lot and robbed at gunpoint 6 months before Boston. So, you know, I'm not naive to life's troubles by any means, but I still feel very blessed to be alive to even tell my story.
Now, the recovery that you experienced, I mean, this took a long time, but your mother flew in, and she was by your side every moment.
She was for 56 days initially in the hospital. She never left me, and then every surgery afterwards. So my mom was my advocate in every way.
Now, the doctors really did try to save your left leg.
They did.
But what happened?
It proved to be too much. At the end of the day, you know, it was a leg that couldn't be saved, and I looked like a shark's leftovers from lunch. I really did. I had chunks of muscle.
It's hard to laugh about it, but it's just so funny to hear you say that.
You have to laugh about it, but you know, I had chunks of muscle and tissue and bones just completely gone, and I had 80% of the bones in my foot and my ankle were missing, and so they tried everything that they could, but ultimately it was what was holding me back, and I needed to get it out of my life.
Your words to the terrorists, I think, are probably an example of triumph and victory. What did you say to them? I mean, you wrote to them in a note, right?
I did. And for the most part, I just wanted them to know that, or the remaining terrorists to know that what he tried to destroy, he made stronger. And now there are so many people that are that much more prepared and ready to go out and fight evil once and for all. And I want to be a part of that good. And I made a promise that I was going to be with whatever I could for the rest of my life.
Your life is just a victory in itself. You've gotten married. You know it's wonderful. What would you like people to take away from this struggle?
I think the only thing I'm really looking for is just hope for other people. You know, everyone's life blows up in their face, and it happens on a daily basis sometimes. And we're all kind of like I was when I woke up from a medically induced coma, staring at 4 blank walls, wondering, where do I go from here? But all in all, I'm very grateful for my struggles. It's made me who I am. I'm a better person than I was 4 years ago. And I am so grateful for the daily reminder that my life is short, and I'm going to live it in the most meaningful way possible.
Rebekah Gregory, thank you so much. The book is called Taking My Life Back, My Story of Faith, Determination, and Surviving the Boston Marathon Bombing. Thank you so much for being here on A Spirited Debate.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green.